Well, in elementary school, during recess time, some of the kids on the playground and myself would literally band together for the game of Red Rover. I got picked a lot. It wasn't because I was a good player, it was more by default. I was small and tiny and had asthma, so about every other round, I would hear my name sung in the classic Red Rover, sunny Red Rover. And wheezing and exhausted, I would ambitiously drop hands from my row, look at the line of humans before me, and charge forward with everything I had in attempt to break the chain and victoriously take a partner back with me to experience the cheers and booming pride of my team. Because of my size and stature, however, those triumphs didn't happen much, and so what usually ended up happening was I would run up the line and end up either dangling over the arms of people like a monkey on a vine, or I would encounter their arms like a tight clothesline to the neck. So I'd be like, what? And to which I would then gaspingly and defeatedly take my place in my new line, awaiting for my next opportunity to fail. Now, perhaps surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I was not a fan of the game, to be honest with you. But to be even more honest with you, I did like playing. And I would play because it felt good to be picked so often. It felt good to be selected and seen and chosen, to feel special, having my name called out for a task only I could do, even if only for a moment, or if I wasn't proud of the end result. And sometimes I think that's how many of us might feel when it comes to the things of life, whether it be tasks at work, or the responsibilities at home, or commitments to church, or family, or friends, or people we want to like us, and just all the things. And so today I want to take us to the story of Noah. But we aren't going to focus on the flood itself, because I think despite how well known he is, we might actually relate to Noah more than perhaps we believe. So we're going to start with Genesis chapter 5, and then skip forward a bit to various passages about Noah's story, and then connect it all together to close with a song. All right, so Genesis chapter 5, verse 28. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he fathered a son and called his name Noah, saying, "Out of the ground the Lord has cursed. This one shall bring us relief from our work and from the painful toil of our hands." Fast forward, chapter 7, verse 1. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation." So the flood happens, and afterwards Noah and his family and all the creatures are saved, yay, and leave the ark, and we have chapter 9, verse 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." So here God is reestablishing the covenant he had actually previously made with Adam and Eve. Verse 12, and God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations. I have set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. And when I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth." God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant that I've established between me and all flesh that is on the earth." Now, we don't know why God had favor upon Noah. His family line didn't have the best moral track record. So starting from the beginning, we have Adam, and coming from Adam, we have Cain, who murdered his brother, and then Noah's dad, who was Lamech, 7 lineages after Cain, and he was more of a stoic man's man, but he had 2 wives. And so we don't directly know how Noah gained God's favor, aside from God noting him as righteous. And to be considered righteous here, I would say it's because he had a wholehearted commitment to God. And so finishing out Noah's story in Genesis, God's covenant has been reestablished with humanity. Yay! Noah, his wife, and their 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, with their wives, are living it up on the earth. The flood has passed, and they're just enjoying life. So chapter 9, verse 20, Noah began to be a man of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brothers outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backward, and they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." In reading that, you can't help but begin to wonder, what happened to Noah? Like, to go from being a hero of humanity to a man drunk and cursing his children, it's really heartbreaking. And we have Lamech making this declaration on behalf of his son. In Hebrew, Noah means rest, stillness, or repose, which I looked up the word repose in a thesaurus, and my favorite option was beauty sleep. The meaning of names in Scripture are often guiding allegorical indicators for us to note a person's personality and character and or their life circumstances. And so here I find it fascinating that Noah's dad was feeling the pressures of an imperfect world and somewhat made it a pleading prayer of his own that the next generation, through his son, would bring that relief. And perhaps Noah, after the flood in his drunkenness, was feeling the pressures of family expectations or a pride with an "I got this, hold my beer" kind of mentality. That he had done his public service duty, believed he had earned the ability to live this life up however he wanted and enjoy whatever he pleased. Or maybe Noah felt like me during Red Rover, like he was special and handpicked by God, but merely became a pawn that had been used and discarded. Or maybe that he had passed his prime and thus believed he had nothing of real value to further contribute to life and attempted to cope with his sorrows through drinking to pass time. And then he felt embarrassed about being drunk, and then what he had done considering his status, and in his embarrassment, he took out those frustrations on others through his cursing anger, with the inability, honestly, to own up to what was truly going on within. And likely it's all variables of the above. And I want to say that if any of you relate to this, I'm sorry you have that weight of hostage, that weight within you holding you hostage in your soul. Lamech wasn't rescued by Noah, and Noah couldn't rescue himself, though rescue did arrive from their family line. If we skip now to Luke 3:23, here we work backwards. Jesus, when he began his ministry, was about 30 years of age, being the son, as was supposed, of Joseph, the son of Heli, the son of Mathat, the son of Levi. We're going to skip through a bunch of valued names here that I struggle to pronounce. But verse 36, it says, the son of Canaan, the son of Arphaxad, the son of Shem, the son of Noah, the son of Lamech, and the son of Methuselah, the son of Enoch, the son of Jared, the son of Mahalalel, the son of Canaan, the son of Enos, and the son of Seth, the son of Adam, the son of God. So here we see that Jesus is the Son of God, but Jesus is also God. And as I was studying for this message, the image that was emphasized was the rainbow. God mentions it several times to Noah after the flood, but what does a rainbow actually mean? It's God's promise. And I actually learned this on a Sunday morning last year at my church in Florida, when I felt flustered to teach the 2 to 3 year old in their class. I I didn't know what the lesson was for the day. And so as I was teaching, I kind of read it. I was sight reading it. And as soon as I read that the rainbow means it's God's promise, it melted my heart into a place of peace. But I believe this rainbow promise has two parts to it. So phase A of the promise was completed when Jesus went to the cross to bury our disappointments, denials, and damaged dreams, and then rose again victoriously, where he currently sits at the right hand of God's throne. But life right now is still hard. And as we wait for phase 2 of Jesus' triumph, to help cast our gazes into the heavenly kingdom by remembering our story isn't over yet, and that the best is yet to come, we have that rainbow reminder. It's kind of like during the engagement period of a couple preparing for marriage. So the ring is a committing promise from the groom to the bride, affirming the love they already have is established, but that it also indicates a life shared together that is to come. And so Revelation 4 talks about the throne of heaven and what it looks like, which is also prophesied in Ezekiel 1:28. It says in verse 2, "At once I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne stood in heaven, with one seated on the throne, and he who sat there had the appearance of jasper and carnelian, and around the throne was a rainbow that had the appearance of an emerald." And this Revelation verse has inspired so much hope within me. I like to think we get to enjoy half the rainbow now because of phase A of God's promise has been completed. And when Jesus returns to restore this world into what it was always intended to be, we will get to bask in the full majesty and beauty of the rainbow as a completed circle. And rainbows last year became of a special significance to me. So in November, my fourth and final grandparent, Grandma Frosty, went home to heaven. And she was the third grandparent to pass away within a year and a half. And so transparently, I felt like I had almost reached my emotional end, and the pain of so much loss within such little time was too much and really intense. But God wouldn't let me forget this promise to love me forever. And so if you check this out, all of these photos are from the week that my Grandma Frosty had passed. Y'all, I was literally seeing rainbows everywhere. You can see it on the TV. I think we got it. Oh yeah, my perfume. Skittles, classic, got to. Saw it on the ceiling. And, those are my sister's sewing scissors. That's oil on the ground. It's just an electrical box on the street. Reflections on the TV. Mirrored on the side of a building. I don't even know where that came from. But these final two were of a special significance to me. They really drove home how faithful and strong and true God's promise really is. So this first one here is actually taken as I was riding home with my sister from the city. We were driving home, and I kept noticing this like little flash out of the corner of my eye. And so I just started like taking my phone camera and clicking away. And this is what I saw. And it was a reflection of our headlights hitting a sign. And I just thought it was so neat that even in darkness, God's promise still shines. And then I also have a video here. I was speaking with my sister after the ceremony of my grandma, and as we were talking, I was swaying back and forth, and I noticed this. So in the sunshine, we had the knobs, but as soon as I covered them with my shadow, you can see rainbows. And so between that one and the first, the picture just before that of the sign, I think it's such a great reminder that even in moments of darkness, God's promise reigns, and we can take great comfort within that. And so I want to close out this message with a song about promises. Some may recognize it as a tune popularized by the band NSYNC, so feel welcome to sing along or simply watch the words on the screen and allow yourself to internalize them. Whether you've never really interacted with God before for various reasons, or you have for years and either become numb or indifferent towards him, or perhaps you think you're all Gucci and solid, wherever your hearts and minds are at, may the song press palpably upon your heart to remember you have never, not once, been forgotten by him. And may this be a time for all of us to reestablish our commitment with God, who has always been all in with us. And if you don't believe that, encourage you to perhaps shift your perspective like God did with me. At one point, the song mentions the words, "Over and over I fall when I hear you call. Without you in my life, I just wouldn't be living at all." And there I would like us to envision Jesus as he carried his cross, which was really our cross, to his death. As he did so, Jesus actually fell 3 times before making it up the hill where he would eventually hang. And those words help me imagine those moments when he fell, how easy it could have been for him to stop and call it quits or give up right there. But I believe when he fell instead, he reminded himself of us, our voices, our aching hearts silently calling and searching for unconditional love. And so he mustered up all within his will to stand back up and keep going. And that his resilience was inspired by loving us so deeply, he refused to let the possibility of us not being with him, of us being abandoned and forgotten to be an option. And it feels very Christian-y to say, look at the cross, which I encourage us to do, but I will also say, when you leave here, look at the rainbows. And remember God's loving promise, what he's done and what he will do. Chin up, beloved one, and keep going. Be brave like Jesus. The best is yet to come. Did you notice, as we read the verses when God made his covenant with Noah, when God was referring to the rainbow in the clouds, he repeated his promises 3 times in that moment. Why? Because God was trying to drill in Noah's heart and mind the promise of his unconditional love for him. And if you ever feel yourself forgetting, like the choruses that we repeat in the song, repeat these words over your mind and into your heart. And this, I promise you, you will find a love of Jesus there. So, Father, I thank you for today. I ask that you would meet us where we're at. Thank you. When the visions around you bring tears to your eyes, and all that surrounds you are secrets and lies, I'll be your strength, I'll give you hope, keeping your faith when it's gone. The one you should call was standing here all alone. And I will take you in my arms and hold you right where you belong till the day my life is through. This I promise you. This I promise you. Well, I've loved you forever in lifetimes before, and I promise you never will you hurt anymore. I give you my word, I give you